Welcome to This Explainer. You know, right now, at this exact second, algorithms are literally deciding who gets a mortgage, who gets hired for a job, and even who gets priority medical care. It's wild. Today, we're diving straight into our source material to unpack the ethics and social responsibility of artificial intelligence. And look, we're not talking about science fiction or some distant dystopian future here. We are analyzing the underlying architecture of the world we're actively building today. So, let's get focused and explore exactly what it takes to engineer intelligence with a conscience.
So what actually happens when artificial intelligence development just completely ignores human values? It's a profound question, right? When we prioritize raw computational power and crazy efficiency, but entirely strip away the ethical guardrails, well, we invite the alignment problem. That's the terrifying scenario wherein AI's mathematically optimized goals diverge drastically from human well-being. This specific question is the engine driving our source text today. It really forces us to recognize that intelligence without responsibility or capability without constraints, well, that isn't an upgrade. It's a massive, unpredictable liability.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our roadmap for today covers 1. Defining AI ethics. 2. Unpacking ethical dilemmas. 3. Understanding societal implications. And 4. Strategies for responsible AI.
Section 1. Defining AI ethics. Here is our foundational definition, pulled straight from the source text. Ethical AI is the vital intersection of artificial intelligence technologies with ethical considerations and social responsibility. Now that word right there, intersection, is absolutely key. We aren't just looking at tech in a vacuum, and we certainly aren't talking about philosophy up in some ivory tower. We're analyzing the exact point where mathematical models literally collide with human morality. Practically speaking, it's the fundamental difference between an algorithm just mathematically optimizing for user engagement and an ethical framework stepping in to prevent that same algorithm from pushing harmful misinformation just to get those clicks.
The source makes a really definitive point here. Ethical considerations absolutely cannot be an afterthought. They just can't be some software patch you hastily install after a machine learning model is already running in the wild. They have to be the bedrock. Think about it. If you build a skyscraper on a cracked foundation, it's eventually going to crumble under its own weight, right? And we've actually seen this play out in the real world when major tech firms had to quietly scrap highly advanced AI recruiting tools. Why? Because the foundational training data was inherently biased against women. The code itself was brilliant, but the flaw was right there in the bedrock.
Section 2. Unpacking ethical dilemmas.
And this brilliantly illustrates the central tension outlined in our source. On one side, you have unchecked AI deployment. This is driven by intense market pressures, venture capital demands, and the sheer desire for that first mover advantage. You know, releasing tech simply because we can. But on the other side, you have responsible AI development. This is a deliberate, highly measured approach that constantly weighs the cutting-edge capabilities of a system against its potential harms. The friction between a startup's need for absolute speed and society's need for absolute safety, well, that's pretty much the defining technological battle of our era.
The source directs us to aggressively examine the dilemmas baked directly into the technology itself. We're talking about training data bias, explainability versus interpretability, and the infamous black box problem. If historical, prejudiced data trains a neural network, the AI is just going to launder that human bias into clean, authoritative mathematical output. The dilemma we face isn't just a simple user error or bad actors misusing a tool, it's algorithmic redlining built directly into the architecture. We literally have to figure out how to shine a spotlight into the black box of these deep learning models so we can actually understand how they arrive at their conclusions.
Section 3. Understanding societal implications. Now, the source identifies key societal implications that prove exactly why these technical dilemmas matter to every single one of us. First up, AI intersects with daily life. We're talking about the algorithmic triage operating in our hospitals and the automated credit scoring models at our banks. Second, it fundamentally shifts social responsibility, completely altering how governments and massive corporations interact with us as citizens. And third, because machine learning models continuously evolve as they ingest new data, they require continuous societal examination. We simply can't just audit an AI once during beta testing and then walk away.
This isn't just about code. It's about the society you navigate every single day. Look, when an artificial intelligence system determines who gets approved for a business loan or whose resume gets flagged for a final interview, it's actively distributing opportunity. It is deciding winners and losers at scale. Understanding these societal implications means really recognizing that AI ethics isn't just some abstract academic debate. No way. It's the new frontline of civil rights and the human experience.
Section 4. Strategies for Responsible AI.
So the crucial point is we've got to translate this abstract philosophy into concrete engineering. The source emphasizes that we need robust, actionable frameworks. We honestly can't afford to just talk about ethics anymore. We have to build them directly into the pipeline. That means implementing algorithmic impact assessments, mandatory bias auditing, and strict data governance protocols that guide every single stage of an AI system's lifecycle. It's all about demanding responsibility and action.
The source lays out a highly logical, step-by-step pathway to actually achieve this. Step 1 is identifying strategies. That's doing the exhaustive research and setting the ethical parameters before a single line of code is ever written. Step 2 is responsible AI development, the actual building, training, and testing phase. And finally, Step 3 is responsible AI deployment, how the technology is eventually released, integrated, and monitored in the real world.
Now, what's really interesting here is how development acts as our absolute primary line of defense. Building with purpose means meticulously curating datasets to identify and strip out historical prejudice. It means engaging in aggressive red teaming, where independent engineers literally try to break the AI or force it to generate harmful outputs, just to find its vulnerabilities. On top of that, it requires building interpretability into the models from day one, ensuring that human operators can trace exactly how an AI arrived at a specific decision. We absolutely have to know the why behind the output.
But hey, building it perfectly in a controlled lab environment? That's just not the end of the story. I mean, we've all seen those embarrassing headlines of corporate chatbots going entirely rogue within hours of going live on the internet, right? Responsible deployment recognizes that context changes everything. Releasing with care requires continuous live auditing, robust user feedback loops, and most importantly, the institutional courage to actually pull the plug on a system if it begins exhibiting unintended harm out there in the wild.
So we've covered the foundational definitions, the embedded algorithmic dilemmas, the massive societal stakes, and the concrete frameworks for development and deployment. But the source material leaves us with a real mandate. What is your role in shaping a society that demands responsible AI? Whether you're a full-stack developer, a policymaker, or simply someone scrolling on a smartphone every day, your awareness and your demands dictate the market. Ultimately, we're going to get the AI we tolerate. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those tough questions, and I'll catch you next time.